How's it going, everyone? So my name is Stephen, and in this video I'm just going to show you how you can work with a Spark from JSON and explode transformation method. So this is the CSV file I've got, and when I print this when I convert this CSV file into a data frame, so it's going to give me the schema of a string for all the columns. So as you can see, I already printed the read the data as data frame, as you can see from this results. So I have the ID, first name, and last name, and so on. So this is the more info part, and it's got a JSON string. And so as you can see here, the occupation and education part are JSON string, and it's got another JSON or another array inside a JSON string, as you can see here for these parts. So what I'm going to do is basically convert this string into actual Spark readable JSON. Right now it can't read it as JSON. What it's giving me is so for more info part, it's giving me the data type as string, and that is not what we want, because we can't actually convert it to a data frame. So we have to basically add a struct type to it in order to read it as a data frame. So that's what I'm going to do now. So let's get started by the explode function. So okay, what I need to do first is create a struct type for those JSON string. So this occupation and the education part as well. So if I say var data schema equal to new struct type. Also, you have to import struct type, right, before you can use it. So I'm just going to click Alt Enter to import the struct type. So okay, it has been imported. So dot add, I'm going to use add method, and so it's going to be a string, and the string is going to be occupation, and the string type. Also, you have to import string type dot add. The second one is education, and it's going to be I'll give it array because it's actually array, not string type. Array type. So I have to import strings type and as well as array type. Okay, I just go up and import them. String type, array type. So the string type, okay, yeah, that should do it. So I'm getting error here. I don't know why. Okay, it's gone. So the next thing I need to do is so I've got string type and array type. For the rest of them, I'll just leave them as they are. I don't want to. I know this one is supposed to be double type, but I'm going to leave it as string type. So I'll just leave them. The area I want to focus on is this JSON area. So it's going to be occupation and education, and so that is it. That's my data schema, and I think I'm still getting one error. So I have string type, array type, and why is that error coming? Where is it coming from? So okay, array type, yeah, I need to specify what the type of data type, the data type inside the array, and it's going to be string type. So that should solve it, or no? Yeah, it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is use basically create a data frame out of this by applying this data schema. So in order to apply a schema to a JSON string, you have to import from JSON transformation method and use that one. So so if I say, if I write val, let's say from okay, df2 equal to df dot so I'll be using with column method, with column so with column the column name I want to give it is I'll just leave it as more info, and I'll be using from JSON, and the column I want to deal with is first of all I'll be using call method. So the column I want to deal with is more info column, and so and what I'll do now is apply the data schema. So data schema, and so I want to select so I want to select every column here. So I want to select the occupation and education column. So in order to do that, I'll use this more info, this column, I'll use it to select them. So select select call, so call more info dot asterisk wildcard. So I say df2 dot show. So what I'll get is additional 2 columns, which is the column for the occupation and the column for education. So now I can. So first of all, you have to import from JSON and core as well, because those are the methods you are using here. So you have to get them imported. So I'll run the app. Okay, the application has finished running. So as you can see, this is the df2 data frame. This is the occupation column, and it has got all the data that belongs to occupation, and the education part as well, or the arrays that belong to the education. As you can see, the last one has none, because the data doesn't have this education part. As you can see here, this is Dan Thomas, right? It just has only the occupation and it doesn't have the education, so that is why it's not giving anything on that particular column. So what I want to do is what I don't want is these two columns separated from the rest of the from the original column. So I want it to be part of the original column. So what I'll do here is basically write so we let's see, try to select the previous column. So if I use the wildcard, I think that should do it for me. So I'll just run it and check what the results I will get. Okay, as you can see, we have those two data frame or two columns as part of the original columns. So we have the occupation and the education. So this one, this method here, it just selects the original column and then select the occupation and education as part of the original column. So that is why we have this combined data frame here. So what I want to do next is explore this array, but right now I can't explode it because it's a string, and explode method is not going to work on a string. It has to work on an array or a map. So what I will do is convert this one to let's say, okay, basically I will use explode on it, right? I will use explode on it because okay, I remember I specify it as array type, so it's not string at the moment. So I already converted to array, so I can explode it. So let's say var df3 equal to df dot select or df2 dot select select. So I want to select let me just select everything, right? I'll select all the columns, and the one I want to export is I want to export the education one. So okay, I'm not going to use export method here. The method I'm going to use is export outer, and the reason for that is I want this last row to be part of the data. I don't want it to be gone. So because if I use export, it's just going to export all the rows that has the array on that particular columns, and it's just going to ignore the one that doesn't have array. So it's going to get rid of this, but I don't want that. So that's why I'm going to use export outer. Export outer, we just export the ones that have arrays, and just ignore the one that doesn't have array. It will be part of the result. So let's go outer, and the column I want to explore is education. So education. So I need to import the explore outer. So if I press or enter, and so yeah, I think that is it. I think I'm missing something here. I can use with column. Okay, I guess I have to. I can't do that one. I can't do that. I have to specify column. I think use code method. I think that should resolve it. So if I press df3 dot show, and I don't want to truncate it, so I'll put false. So if I run it again, I should be able to get 5 rows instead of 3. So yeah. Okay, we have got a result, and that is this data frame. So we have our ID, first name, last name. So the more info, right? We that is the part that we try to exploit, and so here, right, we are getting. Let's see. Okay, I think there is some sort of. Okay, so this is basically the data frame we want, and I forgot to drop this part, the more info. I have to drop it in my code because we are not working on it anymore. So this is the part we want to work on. So we have our occupation, we have our education, and the education has been exported, right? So right now we have a university, and so what is this? Give me. Now it hasn't. Okay, that is the education part. I need to drop this one as well. And this is the one I want to work with, right? So the core part, that is the part that is that has been excluded. So right here, right, we have a university card, a student ID, this one, and so this is the first one, and the second one, university Swansea and student ID. So that here, university Swansea. So that this first row has been exploded into two rows, and for the second one as well, for the second one, it has been exploded. So okay, this is the second one, right? University Cambridge, and the second university is Swansea. So we get Cambridge and Swansea. So to get better result, a better view of this, I need to drop this education and the more info column, because we don't need them. So what I'll do here is use a drop method to basically drop the column I want, and which are more info and education. So that should do it for me. And so what I want to do next is basically add a struct type to this university and student ID, because they are right now string type, and I mean this thing we think is JSON, but Spark doesn't recognize it as JSON right now. It recognizes it as string type, so we have to use from JSON again on this JSON string to convert it to a Spark readable JSON. So in order to do that, I have to first of all specify the schema. So if I say new schema equal to new struct type and dot add. So the first one is university, right? University, and it's going to be string type, and the second one is student ID, student ID, and the data type is string type. So so I'll say over df4 equal to df3 dot select. Now have to use with column, what am I typing? Column. So the name I want to give this is I'll still give it education, and so basically this is the part I'm working with, right? This is the part here, and the column name right now is called, so I want to give it a new column name called education, and I want to use from JSON on it, JSON, and so the column name I want to work with is this call. So I'll select go and add a schema called new schema to it, and I want to basically select so I want to select all the column. So first of all, I will select the original column. So select everything from the original column, and also everything from the here. I will put education. So if I run the application again, okay, so if I run it again, it should give me the right result. Okay, now I'm getting the data frame. So this is the column that I worked with. So and this is the new column that is we're getting. So we're getting the so this is basically the education column. So this is the one that we are selecting from this. So it's where is it? I have to go down a little bit. So that's the one we are selecting here. So it has converted this JSON data into struct. So right now what we're doing is selecting the education.university and education.student ID. So that is why we are having this university and student ID as new columns. So to get the complete or better data frame, what you have to do is drop this column and this education, then you will have this your complete data frame. So I will just go into the code and drop each of those columns, drop call and education. So that we drop the column and the education. So what I will do is run the code again. Let me check the data frame. Maybe there is anything wrong. No, I just have to drop the column and education. So okay, now we are having a better data frame. So as you can see, we have our education occupation to have like all the occupations each of these student is I mean each of this row is having. So we have the university and as well as the student ID for so university and student ID columns like separately. So so we have what we have done is basically move from this type of data frame that has JSON inside it to this one that give us a fine data frame. So basically that is how you can work with that's how you can use from JSON to work with a JSON string within your data frame, and also use exploit outer to explore some of the rows that have arrays in them. So if I use exploit, just exploit on this data frame, I will not be having this row, the last row here. So that is why I had to use exploit outer to make sure that this row comes with my data frame. So that is why I'm having this complete data frame. Okay, that is all I want to show you in this video, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and hit the subscribe button to see more videos like this. I'll be making more of it. That is that is definitely, I mean, that is very sure. So thank you for watching and have a lovely day. Bye.